Our world is full of wonders, from ancient monuments that defy explanation to natural mysteries that challenge science. The Earth hides countless secrets. Today, we will explore 7 of the most mysterious places on our planet. And our journey begins in the heart of England, on the southern plains. Just about 13 kilometers from the city of Salisbury, stands one of the most mysterious monuments of antiquity, Stonehenge. Every year, more than 1 million tourists from all over the world come here. People spend hours observing these massive stones, trying to understand how and why the ancient people of Britain built this remarkable structure. Its construction began around 3,000 years before Christ and continued for nearly 1,500 years. The enormous blocks, each weighing dozens of tons, were erected by the native inhabitants of Britain, whom we now call the Ancient Britons. But who truly built Stonehenge? The scientific version credits the Ancient Britons. Yet, other theories exist. In the 17th century, scholar John Aubrey suggested that it was the work of Druids, Celtic priests who performed rituals here. There is also a legend of wizards, that the stones were magically brought from Ireland to honor fallen chieftains. Archaeological findings, however, strongly support the version of the tribal people of Britain. Over many centuries, step by step, they built this stone circle, carefully aligned with the sun and the moon. And even today, thousands of years later, Stonehenge remains a symbol of mystery. Was it a temple, an observatory, or something else entirely? We may never know for sure, but one thing is clear: this place still holds the strength and wisdom of the ancients. The adventure carries us into the heart of the Atlantic Ocean, where the horizon hides more than beauty, it hides danger, and the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. This loosely defined zone in the Atlantic stretches between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Over the centuries, hundreds of ships have sunk here and dozens of planes have vanished without a trace. Some disappeared in storms and never returned, while others seemed to dissolve into thin air in clear weather. In the mid-20th century, these stories spread around the world and turned the Bermuda Triangle into a true legend. But what really lies hidden in this ocean corridor? For decades, scientists have studied this region, measuring magnetic fields, analyzing weather patterns, and even creating computer models. The results are striking. Most tragedies can be explained by powerful hurricanes, rogue waves, and human error. And yet, the troubling fact remains: too many ships and planes have met their final destination here. Here as something important: pilots do not avoid flying through the Bermuda Triangle. Every day, hundreds of flights cross this area, ships pass through its waters, and everything seems ordinary. And still, when the sun sets beyond the horizon and the ocean is covered in mist, the air seems to carry a sense of mystery. Perhaps it is all just coincidence, or does the Atlantic still keep secrets that humanity has yet to uncover? Leaving the stormy waters of the Atlantic behind, our journey now crosses continents and takes us to the burning deserts of South America, to Peru, where the earth itself holds a message written in lines across the sand. From the sky, they reveal giant drawings: a hummingbird stretching across the desert, a monkey with a coiled tail, a spider, spirals, triangles, and countless straight lines running for kilometers. On the ground they look like simple paths, but from above, the desert transforms into a vast canvas of art. These geoglyphs were created by the Nazca culture between 500 years before Christ and the 5th century AD. They were made by scraping away the dark topsoil rich in iron oxide, exposing the lighter clay underneath. This simple technique allowed the figures to survive for more than 1,000 years, preserved by the extreme dryness of the desert and the near absence of rain. But why were they made? That remains the true mystery. Some believe they were part of rituals to honor the gods of water, essential for survival in such an arid land. Others, like the famous researcher Mara Reich, suggested the lines formed a vast astronomical calendar, aligned with the sun, stars, and solstices. Still others see them as ceremonial pathways, walked by ancient people as part of spiritual rituals. The Nazca Lines remained unknown to the wider world until the 1930s, when airplanes flying overhead revealed their immense scale. Since then, archaeologists and modern drones have discovered dozens of new figures, and many more may still lie hidden beneath the sands. Even today, the Nazca Lines continue to challenge our understanding. Were they messages to the gods, a calendar written on the earth, or something we have yet to imagine? The mystery endures, drawn across the desert for the eyes of the sky. Our journey now carries us to East Africa, to a place both haunting and breathtaking, Lake Natron in northern Tanzania. At first glance, the lake looks like a scene from another world. Its waters shimmer in shades of red and orange, a result of salt-loving microorganisms that thrive in this extreme environment. But beneath this beauty lies danger. The water is so salty and alkaline that its pH can rise above 12, strong enough to burn skin and turn animals into stone-like statues if they stray too close. And yet, life flourishes here. Lake Natron is the only regular breeding ground in East Africa for millions of lesser flamingos. These birds, with their pink plumage, nest by the thousands along the lake's shores, feeding on the algae and microorganisms that give the water its color. A deadly lake for most creatures, but a sanctuary of life for flamingos. The lake's origins are volcanic. It lies in the Gregory Rift, part of the East African Rift Valley, and receives minerals from the active volcano Oldoinyolangai, whose eruptions enriched the water with alkaline compounds. But Lake Natron is not only a natural wonder, it is also a place of history. Fossils like the pennant jawbone have been discovered in its dry beds, shedding light on early hominids. And near its southern shore, archaeologists uncovered the Anguirusero footprints, the oldest known footprints of Homo sapiens in the world, preserved in ash and mud for over 100,000 years. Today, Lake Natron is recognized as a Ramsar site for its ecological importance, but it faces threats from development projects that could endanger its fragile ecosystem and the flamingos that depend on it. A place where beauty and death exist side by side, Lake Natron remains one of the most mysterious and otherworldly lakes on Earth. Our journey now takes us to North America, to the United States, on the border of California and Nevada. Here, in the Mojave Desert near the Sierra Nevada mountains, lies a place where heat and silence create a land of extremes, Death Valley, the hottest desert on Earth. This valley is famous for recording the highest temperature on the planet, 134 degrees Fahrenheit, or 57 degrees Celsius, in July of 1913. Summers here are brutal, and rain is a rare guest. It is the driest spot in North America, yet strangely, from autumn into spring, it becomes a place that invites adventurers and explorers from all over the world. The valley received its ominous name back in the winter of 1849-1850, when a group of pioneers lost their way. They feared that none of them would escape alive. In the end, only one person died, but the haunting name remained, Death Valley. Despite the heat and danger, people still live here. Some are seasonal workers, arriving during the cooler months for tourism and resort jobs. Others are permanent residents, often connected to the National Park Service or local communities. For them, this harsh land is not just survivable, it is home. Death Valley is a land of paradoxes. Amid endless salt flats and dunes that seem lifeless, sudden rains can trigger carpets of wildflowers, transforming the desert into a sea of color. Towering rocks appear to move on their own, leaving long trails behind them in the sand, a mystery that scientists now explain with thin sheets of ice and wind. It is a place where the line between life and death feels razor thin, yet beauty emerges in the most unexpected ways. In its silence and scorching air, Death Valley reminds us of the resilience of nature and the determination of people who dare to call it home. Our path now leads us deep into the Siberian taiga, in Russia, to a place where silence hides a disturbing mystery. This is the Devil's Cemetery in Krasnoyarsk Krai. Amid the endless forests lies a perfectly circular clearing, strangely devoid of trees. For more than a century, locals have feared this patch of land. It was first mentioned by herders in the early 20th century, when cows that wandered into the meadow suddenly collapsed and died without any visible cause. Legend spread quickly. Some said the ground was cursed, scorched by lightning, or marked by something unearthly. Others whispered of poisonous gases, magnetic anomalies, or unseen forces rising from deep underground. Although it is often confused with the Tunguska explosion site, the Devil's Cemetery is unrelated. It remains an independent mystery, an empty circle in the middle of the forest, far from roads and settlements. Those few who dare to enter describe an eerie silence. Birds do not sing, animals avoid the clearing, and the air itself feels heavy, as if nature is holding its breath. Scientists have tried to explain it: soil contamination, underground gases, or geomagnetic anomalies. But none of these theories fully answer why life avoids this place, while the surrounding taiga flourishes. The Devil's Cemetery in Russia remains one of Siberia's darkest enigmas, a reminder that even in the modern world there are still places beyond explanation. Our path concludes with one of the most legendary places on the planet, Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas in the heart of the Andes. High in the mountains, at an altitude of more than 2,400 meters above sea level, among clouds and steep cliffs, lies an ancient fortress. Built in the 15th century by order of the Inca ruler Pachacutec, Machu Picchu remained unknown to the outside world for a long time. Only in 1911 did the American explorer Hiram Bingham rediscover its ruins for humanity. To this day, it remains a mystery how the Incas managed to build this city without iron tools and the wheel. Huge stone blocks, weighing tens of tons, are fitted together with such precision that not even the blade of a knife can fit between them. Scholars suggest that Machu Picchu was a sacred place, the residence of the emperor or a religious center where priests worshipped the gods of the sun and the mountains, but its exact purpose still remains a mystery. Today, Machu Picchu is recognized as one of the new 7 wonders of the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Every year, millions of tourists come here to witness how the ancient city mysteriously emerges from the morning mist and dissolves into the clouds, like a bridge between the past and eternity. Machu Picchu is a reminder of the greatness of the Inca civilization and a mystery that nature and time have preserved for future generations. If you enjoyed this journey through the most amazing places on Earth, support our efforts. Subscribe to Dreamflow and help us uncover more mysteries of the world for you.